Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our friends up in Queensland and, of course, speak with the back-to-back champions in the rugby union side of things. And, of course, that is the East Tigers. And, of course, they won their grand final at Suncorp Stadium, I believe, at Lane Park about a month ago now. And, of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now. Tell us a bit about it. Thanks, all three, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I will get all three to introduce yourselves and tell us what position all three played on grand final day.
I'm Kobe J. Morgan, and I played first five, so number 10. Started at number 9 at the start of the year. Then we went into a bit of red stuff and then came back at the end of the year. Yeah, playing number 10. So in the back line there.
My name's Morgan Tioka. I actually didn't get to play the grand final. I'm injured, but I was on the wing and then starting fullback in the final series. So just a bit unlucky there, got injured in the semi-final, but luckily was able to support our girls for their grand final at Suncorp and see them get the win for us. So it was pretty special for me.
I'm Masako. People call me Digi from Digimon. I play scrum half, but I played in the flanker for the grand final and semi-final.
Before I talk about the grand final, Morgan, you mentioned before that you were out injured the game before in the semis. Number one, what did you do in the semi-final to get yourself injured? And did you actually end up getting a medal anyway?
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I have some pretty good officials around me. They made sure I got a medal for game day, which was very special. It was awesome to be like an integral part of the team throughout the season. And then in semi-final, it was probably our most physical game throughout the entire season. Everyone was pretty much saying that was our biggest matchup for the entire season against Sunnybank. And unfortunately, I was unlucky. I landed on my right leg jumping in the air for a ball, and then our winger from the opposition team sort of blindside hit me and hyperextended my knee, which caused 3 fractures just below my knee and my fibula and my tibia and patella. And so, you know, that caused me to be out for the grand final. But in saying that, sort of, I was very fortunate enough to be a part of that semi-final win, because I think that was probably one of the most crucial wins for us throughout the season. So I still ended up going to the grand final, feeling very proud of my team and trying to do my best for the group to ensure that they got the win done on our grand final day.
And how's your injury travelling now?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm about 3 weeks in. Everything's going pretty well. I think I took a bit of a mental toll on me, because I've never really had any major injuries during my rugby union career. And so just sort of getting to that final season and coming up with a major injury definitely sort of, you know, was a bit of a left field curveball for me. But in saying that, I'm now on the back end of my recovery. So I've only got about 2.5 weeks left until I'm out of my cast, and then I hopefully am in rehab stages back to playing the game next year, which will be really exciting.
Of course, you mentioned about Sunnybank a moment ago, which you versed in the semi-finals. Now, obviously, they didn't get through to the grand final at the end. It was DPS that got to the grand final. I guess, number one, were you surprised that you played them in the grand final?
Yeah, I guess they were probably top 2 the whole season. So they were pretty consistent throughout the season, and always a pretty tough physical team again to come up against. But Sunnybank has, I guess, a lot of girls that play for Queensland Reds as well. So whereas Jeeps are they're just a well-rounded, sort of stable club side. So we knew playing either of those 2 teams in a semi would probably be like a grand final almost 2 weeks in a row. So they've done well, I guess, in the last 2 years to make grand finals, and that's an achievement in itself, being there on the day. So yeah, we just knew there was going to be a pretty tough battle both weekends in a row, and we just sort of had to step it up each game.
Now, tell us a bit about the grand final, because the scoreline seems to be a bit of a blowout. It seems like it was all your team's way, but was it?
Yeah, I guess the first half, we had held a lot of possession and played really smart. Our forwards were amazing. And we have a pretty deadly back line, a lot of Queensland Red girls and up and coming Wallaroos girls. So we were just lucky that I guess our forwards played a really pivotal role in our game and did all the hard work for us to get us good field possession in attack. And I reckon we had the ball in the first half, maybe it was about 85%, 80% ball, so which helped a lot. Jeeps in the second half had about a 10-15 minute period where they were pretty good. They held a lot of the possession in that, but then we just blew them out in the second half. So we knew that once we got ball in hand that we're pretty unstoppable.
Everyone seemed to just switch it on for our grand final. Like, we've had a lot of breaks and disconnections throughout the season, and it just seemed like everything sort of came into fruition because most of the girls sort of all were able to come together after that Reds period and bring their expertise into that final series. And it just, everything just sort of came together really well for us. And we were just really lucky that everyone was able to stay composed and execute their job on the day.
Considering the scoreline of that game, was there any point in the game that you felt we got a chance to just not relax, but to enjoy the moment, knowing that you won a premiership and obviously defended that title from last year?
Yeah, literally, I reckon we had the ball down in our own half about 20 metres out from our try line, and it must have been a line out or a scrum or something, and it was literally about 2 minutes ago, and the bats were like, oh, let's try and do a crossfield kick. We hadn't practiced it. I was like, we knew that we were going to win, but yeah, I reckon with only about 2 minutes ago that we sort of
started to play.
Yeah, just like playing what was in front of us instead of sticking to, our structures and what we needed to do. So yeah, it didn't seem till like the very end where we thought that we could just pull off some magical work. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, at halftime we had like a lot of, we just spoke about how we felt connected on the field and taking, not even focusing really on the plays that we were running and that sort of stuff, just around composure and the energy that we're trying to bring on the field. So yeah, it was more of a mental sort of switch at halftime for us.
So whose idea was to kick the crossfield kick?
One of our wingers who came on. Probably our youngest. No, it was Macca. It was our youngest player, and she goes, "Oh, let's just try a crossfield kick." Like, where did that come from? Yeah, so the rookie of our team, of course, wanted to have a bit of fun with the ball. So,
how good was it to defend the title?
It was pretty amazing. Like, we had an amazing season last year where we finally sort of gelled. We were undefeated the entire season. This year was completely different. We had so many girls out during the season due to injury. I think we went into like 3 or 4 second round games with just hitting 15 players with maybe 2 forwards on the bench, just if we were lucky. And we had, some parents coming in to help us, some of the parents of the girls sort of playing with us. And, we were really scraping by. And I think that set a huge foundation for our group, because our Reds girls who came back in, they just understood that we'd sacrificed so much and put so much energy and effort to try and get those wins to keep us in the finals leg. And then when they came in, they just really sort of was able to, give as much as they could to the team, because they loved the culture that we had created, and they loved to see that how much we put on the line to make sure our team were able to function properly without them. And I think that just set in stone that all our girls wanted to come back. They wanted to put in their best effort for our finals, and that's why we did so well on the grand final day.
How good was it to play at Lang Park, which is Suncorp Stadium for everyone playing at home?
It was a pretty special occasion. A few girls had obviously played there throughout the Super W series in the last few years and understood. I guess that's our home field when we play for the Reds. There or at Ballymore, and so it was extremely just to be in that space and to enjoy seeing how excited, especially for all the young girls that had never been there before, just even the bus trip in, and, you know, just all those moments that you remember, like you're just looking around, just seeing how excited girls were to be there and for their families to watch them, I guess, on such like a prestigious ground in Australia, and just knowing who had played there before us and who was, you know, the NRL final was about to be played there. We've had Bledisloe test matches played there this weekend. So, yeah, for me personally, it was just seeing how their reactions and I guess how grateful, and that moment was really special for them to be able to play on a pretty awesome field. So
definitely.
yeah.
I think also, like, you know, we don't look for equality because we love the game. We just look for equity, and so we just want the same opportunities, and to finally be given the same opportunity because we know we make the same sacrifices that, you know, the other Premiership men's make. To finally be treated at the same level on our finals day was extremely special for us, and we really took it all in. I think the girls really took value in every moment we had, from, you know, the bus going underneath Suncorp Stadium to walking into the dressing sheds to seeing their names, you know, next to their jerseys. Just all those little moments I think maybe some professionals might take for granted. They're moments in our game that we are lucky enough to be able to really understand the perspective of where our game's heading and heading for our young girls coming through, and it was just really special for us.
How long did all three wear your medals around your necks for
after the game? I think 2 days.
Yeah, they didn't come off till we got picked up to go home. So it was a must. Some of the girls had their medals on from last year's win as well. So having doubly the fun.
Yeah, they brought both in. They already had preconceived the fact that we were going to do well, and we're wearing both on the way home on the bus, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I have to ask, did any of you sleep with your medals?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, a few of them would have accidentally fallen asleep on the Sunday night after the game, and then probably woke up and it was still around their necks. So, yeah, we were. Yeah, it was really like we had so much fun afterwards, and on the Monday as well.
Who got to hold the cup first, and did either of you have a chance to have a photo with the cup?
The cup is currently in our apartment because Digi and I are roommates, so it sits on the kitchen bench at the moment.
It's been there since Mad Monday.
It's been there since our Mad Monday, and we've decided that it's not going anywhere until we win the cup again. We're not at our apartment at the moment, but I would show you if we were there. But yeah, it's in what we call the clubhouse, which is the local apartment closest to the fields. And so yeah, we definitely got the back end of the trophy, but definitely not the start of it.
Yeah, I think Annabelle Cody got it first. She's our captain.
Yeah.
And then all the young ones wanted to get their hands on it, so we just let them be in their moment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it went around to a few families, and
definitely.
Yeah, but everyone got. I'm sure. Yeah, we got a photo with it. We actually, all three of us. I don't work there anymore, but last year these two are still out at Marsden State High School, and we brought a fair few of our girls through. It's a rugby league and rugby sevens program and stuff there. So we brought a lot of our girls through that to East Tigers when they're in their senior years, year 11 or 12. So we actually played with a few last year, and then they went back to back with us this year. So we had a big Marsden photo together with the trophy. So that was a pretty special moment.
Nice. I'm assuming, I know you're not supposed to do this during COVID times, but did either of you kiss the cup at any stage?
Oh man, we drank out of it a lot, so I think
Probably.
does
that count?
I feel like that counts.
Now, tell us a bit about your coach.
Hey, T.
Tyrell.
You go, yeah.
So Tyrell's just having experience with him when I first moved up here from Sydney. He was my forwards coach for Queensland Reds, and he used to work out at Queensland Reds, and then took up a position last year and coaches for East last year for the women's team and this year. But from the person that I know, he's a really club-driven man, but he also wants to see women do well. So I think that's why he's always stuck his hand up to give back to the game, but especially to the women's game, and just, I guess, really supportive of women doing well. And it doesn't matter what sport they play. We had a few girls crossover, or one girl crossover. She was playing club with us last year, and has gone over to AFLW, and he will still, anytime she's around the club, or he's just super proud that she's attached to our club and always will be, sort of thing. So he's just a really good man, super passionate about rugby, and that's my experience with him.
Yeah, always does what's in the best interest. Like he's got a heart of gold, and he would do what is in the best interest of the girls when he can have control over some of those, decisions around women's rugby. So we are very fortunate that he's been a part of the program, because I don't think it would have fruitioned into what it is now without him. Definitely a lot of the girls wouldn't have come across, because he is so interpersonal and creates amazing relationships with his team members. And I think that's what sort of started us. It was like the foundation for us, which was really special.
How did all three get involved in rugby union, and why did you choose it?
I'm from Japan, and I went to the primary school where rugby union was one of the only 2 sports that were available. And my dad, being a teacher, he kind of made me be involved in that kind of rugby community, and that's how I ended up starting rugby.
And moved to Australia.
Oh, and then moved to, yes. I moved to Australia when I was 16 to play rugby with no ability to communicate in English. So I've come a long way.
Yeah, very special story.
Yeah.
I'm a bit different to these two. I started rugby 4 years ago. So I was 26 when I decided to go down to the local footy club and give it a go. I'd been playing touch footy for about a year, and just saw it in 2016, the Rio Olympics. A few of my mates and I were like, let's give this a go. So I went down to the local UQ Rugby Sevens club, and luckily was probably under one of the best coaches at the time for Rugby Sevens. He just helped me immensely in my first year, and I really enjoyed the sport, picked it up quite easily, loved every minute of it, and then transferred over to 15s this year because Kobe was working with us at Marsden. And so we all decided that we're at the age where we just really need to enjoy our footy. It's sort of the back end of our careers for most of us, and time is our most precious commodity. So spending time with people that make you feel good is really important to us. So I think that was the biggest thing for both Digi and I, is that we just wanted to be around people that we enjoyed to play sport with. And so we went and joined Cobes over at East, and that's sort of how we came into playing with the East Rugby Club last year.
I have a fairly large touch background, so I started when I was about 12 years old. Played a lot of rep touch footy, and then it wasn't till I was over at a Trans-Tasman for touch, so playing against New Zealand over in Auckland. And a few of the girls who I'd been playing with had just started playing sevens and were getting ready to go over to the first World Cup where women's teams were involved. So it was before the Sevens World Series, any of that. And a few of them had also crossed over from touch, and we're getting ready to go for that. And I was over playing in a Trans-Tasman, and I got a phone call saying that Darwin Hotter Sevens was on and that they needed an extra player. And someone had been watching me at the Trans-Tasman touch series over there and said, as soon as that's done, we'll fly you back straight into Sydney. Can you get somebody to pack your bags for an extra week, and we'll fly you up to Darwin? And then that's where it all started. So I had no idea. Had watched my brother and my family, big, same as these guys, massive love for rugby. And so I've grown up watching it, watched my brother play, and always been around it, but never wanted to play it when I was a teenager. Just always played soccer or other sports. And then, yeah, I finally had my first little crack at sevens, and then went back to Sydney after that, and I was studying, and then I sort of transferred straight from, we had a fair few girls from touch transfer over to sevens at the time, and then played a lot of my career down in Sydney for the Warringah Rats, and really lucky to win a fair few titles down there. It was either us or Sydney Uni each year. And then, a couple of years ago, I came up here, played my first season with Sunnybank and won that. And then we had a fair few rep girls in that team, and I sort of wanted to go and play for a club, and East was starting back up again. And just be like just happy to play with my best mates up here. So that's where we're at for East.
All three mentioned right at the start what position you all play on the field. If you had a preferred position, we'd like to convince your coaches to put your next year, where would that be?
Go flanker.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I'm retired. Sorry.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm actually really unsure. I actually love the sort of diversity of playing both wing and jumping into fullback. I genuinely enjoy not having to sit in one position for the whole season. So definitely got moved around a little bit too much this year just to help out the team when all the girls went away to the Reds. I played about, I reckon, 8 different positions over the period of the season. If I could just pinpoint to it, definitely would be outside backs or fullback, because I really enjoy the opportunity to communicate to the team as I can see what's happening. I enjoy that a lot.
Preferred position, I guess. Digi and I are pretty similar, so we both played halfback for Queensland in the Wallaroo squad together. So we share, I guess, a lot of similarities in where we play on the field. And just easy to work with each other and teach each other, new little tricks and stuff. But Digi's defense is probably way better than mine. So there you go, because she loves tackling. Whereas I love running with the ball or passing the ball. That's why Dig, I guess, has said that she likes going up into the flanker position, because that's probably one of their main priorities in their jobs, is just to sort of smash people. And then this year sort of had a bit of a transition as well, where I went from playing 9 even for Queensland, and then halfway through Super W series, got asked if I would play first 5, so number 10, and sort of never really looked at that idea, but I enjoyed it a lot, and then came back and played for East as a first 5, and I sort of got to expose my kicking game, which I probably give back to soccer from all those years ago playing soccer, and it's just sort of paid off in the end. But probably if it was any position, I really like playing number 12, so second 5, because I think you don't have as much pressure as first 5 to having to control the team around the field. Number 12, you sort of get to play a little bit more and have a bit of time, and I don't feel like there's as much pressure. So, but anyway, we've all played in probably every position.
What does the sport of rugby union mean to all three, and especially play for East?
I think for me, I was really lucky to grow up in a family where rugby union was just such a pinnacle part of growing up and understanding sport and the importance of sporting culture. So growing up, sort of sitting in front of the TV, my dad's New Zealand Māori, and watching the All Blacks play and just having those cultural connections just really tied in a significant part of why sport's important to me. And so I didn't have rugby union obviously growing up, but when the opportunity came about for me, obviously later end in my 20s, just the opportunities available for us in rugby union, and to see sort of the fact that people are investing their time and effort and buying into women's sport and women rugby sevens and rugby union definitely gave me this desire to want to start playing. And also, I guess from that, just playing with Easts, it's just that, like I said, that it's cultural connections. We have a lot of Polynesian girls, and I'm not very in touch with my Māori heritage, and it probably hasn't been for the last year or two that I've really had a significant cultural connection and understanding the comparisons with my heritage and sport, and just being able to make those connections has been extremely special for me. So that's been a significant part as to why I love playing the game, and just experiencing being around those girls who really understand the importance of family. And I think that's sort of been our grounding aspect as to why we tend to do well in our sport.
For me, I guess it's a lot of my friendships and really, really good friendships who are almost, they are family, and that's been a massive drive for me. So I came from a touch background where really similar, where, you know, you almost felt like every tournament you go to, you were catching up with your family and that sort of thing. And I'm the same as Morgan. I grew up in a household full of All Blacks supporters, and so I sort of had no choice really, but I was always the same, got sat in front of the TV whenever there was a Bledisloe test match or and that sort of thing. And the house would sound pretty crazy at the time, but that's the same thing, like just having that connection and the family. And but why I love it so much, I got to, you know, it gave me so many opportunities when I was in the World Series for sevens at a lot of the countries that I got to play in. You know, they were experiences that I'll keep for a lifetime, and be able to tell my kids or grandkids or whatever, those sort of stories. And just being, you know, given those privileges to get thrown on a plane, get put up in hotels, and just like they were luxuries that, you know, maybe I wouldn't have been able to have those opportunities if I didn't put the hard work in behind it or anything. So rugby's probably given me a lot, and just set me up with, I guess, just a lifetime of awesome people to be around. And you just learn, and you just, you get to just mix with some awesome people. And that's like East. We were sort of a team thrown together last year from like, we have Canadians in our team. We have, what does Ali do for work? She's a
medical engineers,
and then we've got all our polyphonal family who just brings so much character to our team, and there's always a laugh. And but you know that they're, you know, they've become almost like sisters, and that they're going to put you first before anything. So that's why I love probably going back to East each time.
For me, these two, without rugby, I wouldn't be in Australia, to be honest. I got into the sport probably when I was 13 or 14. And then I realised how rugby in Japan was not so there yet. And then if I was to become a good rugby player, I had to go elsewhere. So I think thanks to my mum and dad for letting me come over here and then finish high school and university without them being here looking after me, I think taught me a big lesson about how to be independent and how to, like, you know, work with the team and, you know, rely on other people when they're not your blood family. But with you know, having to be within the rugby community, like, they're all family. And, you know, my friends are my family because my actual family are here. But, you know, if I'm in trouble, like, I'll give them a call and then they'll be here to, you know, help me out. And throughout my university degree, like, I couldn't speak a word of English, but then like I had all these rugby people helping me out. Like, they'll be like, hey, dudes, like, I did that degree when I was at uni, like, let me help you if you need a hand. Or, you know, like, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have footy. So I'm so grateful. To be honest, like, coming over to East was a big decision for me because I played for UQ for 12, 13 years. And if it wasn't for Tyrell to talk to me, like, sit down and talk to me about what he sees in the program and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, but it was a great decision that I made, that I got to play with, you know, my best friends and get to have 2 premierships in a row. So it's unreal. So I may not play, but hopefully I get to somehow still be part of the community to give it back.
We'll finish up with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moment on the field this season, and what was it?
Annabelle breaking her bra in the game was quite embarrassing, wasn't it? One of the Sunnybank girls tackled our captain, and because she's so tall and lanky, she must have grabbed the part where she could grab, which was her bra. And she doesn't wear sports bra, she wore normal bra. What? Yeah, that's what it broke. And then it apparently snapped. And then apparently like her jersey got lifted, and as she came back to the rock and was like, guys, I think I flashed to the crowd. I think you'll be able to see my boob. Anyway, so that was probably one of the embarrassing moments. Yeah. So and that's why we were like, how do you not wear sports bra?
Oh no, I can't.
Does she apparently wear for comfort over practicality? That sums up
I think honestly, to be honest, our girls, nothing is embarrassing for them. Like you could ask them to do the stupidest stuff in the world and they would not think it's embarrassing. They would think it's funny and it's jovial and
they'll just laugh.
It's so good. Like they will just you know, nothing that they've done throughout the season they would call embarrassing. They are just that's our team. I think that's literally why we come together so well, because the laughs that we have just make you never want to miss a beat with them.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Comedian has to go to Ina.
Yeah.
Lena Cooper for now.
She's a hooker.
She's our hooker. And she
our try-scoring hooker.
She's our try-scoring hooker. She has to be the most
she brings the laugh.
Extrovert, you know, jovial.
Her dad's our backs coach.
Dad's our backs
He's
coach.
constantly rolling his eyes at her.
Yeah. She is like, you could be in the most serious conversation. We've had so many conversations where our coach, poor Tyrell, like our coach, he's been in such a serious conversation with us, and Tina will just say something little, make a face, do something, and the whole team will lose it, like completely lose it. And he just can't handle it. And, you know, that sort of underlies the reason as to why, you know, one, probably we need to be better at that. But the second thing, we just love coming back because we just laugh and have the best time all the time with someone like her. Best dancer.
We have a crew which is like the girls. There's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And without doubt, they will be doing a TikTok pre-training and then a TikTok pre-game and then a TikTok post-game.
Yeah.
And you'll see a post nearly every week.
Yeah.
Just the 5 of them.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be some Caribbean remix.
Yeah. A bit of a DJ noise in there somewhere.
Yeah, DJ noise, all in the vibe. TikTok. So I think our girls can really move if you ask them to. If you put the right songs on, our girls will move for you. Like they literally, they'll bring out every move they've got. Best singer has to come from our Mad Monday. So we had a Mad Monday on
Auntie Rhea.
Yeah, on Monday, and we didn't mean to have microphones, but Kobe brought a speaker up, this huge wheelie speaker, and next minute the girls rocked up with 2 microphones that you could plug into the speaker. So we didn't even know, like they didn't even know it fit into the speaker. They just made the assumption, rocked in, plugged the microphones in, and then just started karaoke for our entire Mad Monday to every song.
They could rap from Biggie Smalls through to Salt and Pepper through to
Dojo Cat, you name
Celine Dion. They could do it all.
Yeah.
So that would be
Mr. Postman was coming out, you know, all the old school Uptown girls coming out. It was unbelievable. And I think that goes to our Auntie Rhea, who's actually Lisa's our oldest.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got 2 mums on the team who are actually mums of players who also play with us. You know, they're very, very special to us. And I think that also keeps us very grounded because they, week in, week out, you know, they put their body on the line for us, and they rock up to every training session. They always have incredible composure in everything that they do. And I think
sort of keep everyone a bit level-headed.
They keep everyone grounded. Yeah. So, but they definitely were the best singers on our Mad Monday, that's for sure.
Well, just answer my question about TikTok as well. So I'll move on to the next one. Now, nicknames. Now, So I wanted to ask this question from when all three introduced yourselves. So I need to know, where did the nickname Digi come from?
Oh, okay. So I'm from Japan.
Yes.
And I was playing for UQ, probably the second year in. A lot of the girls couldn't say my name properly. And then they go, I need to come up with a nickname for you. So they started calling me Pokemon or Pikachu to start with, but it didn't really sink in apparently. And then one of the girls go, what about Digimon? And then that kind of stuck around. And then now it's short for Digi. And a lot of people don't know my real name. People think Digi is my last name.
Oh, no.
It's not. As like it to be, it could be my middle name, but it's not. It's nothing to do with my name. It's just because I'm from Japan and Digimon is from Japan. So
yes. Do you mind it now, or you still?
Not at all. Like, I actually don't mind it, and you know that kind of gives me, I don't know, like more like family kind of vibe. Because if they know me, then yeah, as Digi, that means like we have something in common. And I also don't like people calling me Osaka.
Oh, right.
And I'm from Tokyo, so Tokyo people don't like to be mixed up with Osaka people.
Oh, right. Now, I know with all sporting clubs, there's a fine system that normally goes towards the end of season trip or something similar. Did you have a fine system this year? And if so, who copped the most fines?
Okay, so fines, we fine. Oh, should I mention the jerseys? That was pretty funny. Yeah, so we our jerseys went missing throughout the second round of the season because girls were taking them home and not putting them back.
Oh,
and
no.
one of our sort of, I guess, our leadership girls, who was a manager prior to coming back on the field, she ended up having to go through each game and screenshotting the girl who was wearing the numbered jersey and then posting it in our group chat to demonstrate that they were the last one with that jersey. And then they had to bring the jersey back because everyone was like, no, we don't have the jerseys. And they're like, guys, we've got like 10 jerseys missing. And so she'd gone and she'd screenshotted every single girl in the middle of their playing and put in the group chat and said, like, excuse me,
Tagging people.
Cecilia, you were the last one in the 15s jersey. Where is it? It was very funny. So that sort of started the fines. We ended up doing a huge fines list. And then on Mad Monday, I think to be totally real and honest with you, we were so drunk that we totally forgot about the entire fine system. So it's sitting on my phone and we have not touched it because we just completely forgot. There was no such thing as kangaroo court for us because our girls, we're just too far gone.
For people that should get involved in rugby, what would be your advice, and especially to head down to East?
Just come earlier in the season. We're a very welcoming bunch, I feel. The more the merrier with us. You fit in pretty quickly if you're able to laugh at yourself and laugh at your mistakes. So, we just love to see more young girls. We're seeing so much talent come through our junior system at the moment, which is a really positive space for us to be in because we feel like we can see so much talent sort of getting ingrained into the system before we sort of phase out, which is very exciting. But we had like 6-7 new girls come in this year and they haven't missed a beat. Like they've come straight in, they've worked their butt off. They've earned their spot on finals time. They've demonstrated why they deserve the jersey. Those who haven't have been such good team players. So those girls who unfortunately didn't get the opportunity, who are brand new this year, they were right around the team in our final series. They didn't skip a beat. They were constantly supportive of us. And I think it's just about the character of the person coming into the system, because I think they'll always be welcomed, but it's whether they can handle the fact that you've got to sort of prove your earnings. You got to earn your stripes and really make sure that you're the best person for the team to play that position before you get the right to play. And I think coming into a back-to-back group who have done really well at a high level, you know, you need to be very aware that we'll welcome you as much as possible. But at the end of the day, our goal is about the team and the team success. So if you're not the right fit for the team, you just got to be very aware of what you got to improve on, what you got to do better to ensure that you're going to be an integral part of the group.
Well, all three, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. This is one of the best interviews we've done so far this year in 2021. And congratulations on defending that title this year and make it back-to-back. And hopefully this time next year, hopefully I'll be interviewing again and talking about a bit of a three-peat and maybe a dynasty happening out there at the Tigers.
Yeah, that's us. Thanks so much,
you.
Will. Appreciate your time.
We'll get that jersey signed and just stuck up there.
Take that Red Sox one down.